Oh, did you forget to?
Take you in the act.
Mo. Them GFE outside.
Why? What's your?
Thank you for joining us. This is our first episode podcast that is going to preview Ghana Premier League, the Access Bank Division 1 League, the Malta Guinness Women's Premier League, the Men's FA Cup, that's the MTN FA Cup, and the Women's FA Cup. We are going to delve deep into our leagues, and this is the platform where you get to enjoy every bit of details on our league. But every week we will give you a special guest who is going to help us digest our football issues. And my name is Shaban Mohammed. Today I have with me Coach Vincent Abiu. I call him the scientific coach. He understands everything Ghana football, and at some point we did so many things together. Coach, nice having you here.
Same here, bro.
Yes, we are going to review our leagues, and this is the first episode. We hope that at the end of the day, that is what we want to achieve from the competitions department to the communications department of the Ghana Football Association. We want to achieve this. One, people should understand what is happening with regards to our league, the facts, the records, and the happenings in all our various leagues. I'm sure we will achieve this together.
Definitely. I think this is not going to be the first time. We've done it several times. And like you rightly said, it's just about selling the idea to people, for the people to understand what it takes. Once we are able to market it very well and make people understand, they feel it's far from them. The game belongs to them. It belongs to all of us. And we need to have this mentality where we need to push the league down to the schools and bring it up to the top. Those who are at the top have an idea and they have a perception, whether good or bad. But we don't need to sink it down to the next generation. They must have a different perception about the league and understand the league, like the Catch Them Young concept, where they can speak about clubs, even give us location of clubs.
Yeah.
Then that means at the formidable stages, they have a perception from the previous mentality that, we used to describe the league near a phone and it's we need to block that mentality and create a new generation, not new generation of human beings, but new generation of people to reset their mind, for people to learn and relearn, unlearn and learn again. Then once you're able to do that, we'll be able to pick up from another place. Because they are the same people who will play in the competition.
Sure.
And they are the same people who will be watching the competition. So your mates play, your mates support, your mates watch you, your mates become a referee, your mates become a coach, or anything else. So I think such programs will be ready to help. And resourcefully, it shouldn't be, our advice shouldn't be a program for just friends and brothers, but it should be a program based on expertise and people who are ready to do the work, not people who stay behind the scene. Once the program kick off very well, and they feel they also want to benefit. We need to do the game with passion. There must be that passion, there must be that love for the game, and there must be understanding. We need to sell the game out to people. Once people understand what the game entails, you don't force them to come to the stadium. They must follow. They have the information on the league, like what is happening now. We need to do more. The data, the statistics, all those, the pictures. The picture, we're seeing quality pictures now. It drives people because, we are two people. People work on sound and people work on visualization.
Yeah.
So, and we are people who do two, audiovisual, and we are people who can only visualize. So give them good picture, they will follow you. There are people who want to hear good sound. So we need to combine these two very well. We give people good sound in terms of commentary, in terms of whatever we discuss on the league. Then we give people good pictures. So once they see good pictures, those who have visual, like those who do visualization, will follow the pictures. And those who go with sound will follow sound. Those who have both will follow it. Then we have everybody there. We satisfy everybody.
Sure, that's Coach Vincent Abiu, and we are going to delve deep more. Coach, we are starting with the Premier League, but let's start with the match day 23. Interestingly, some of the results are something that we never expected, especially the Vision FC Bechem United 3-2, and we saw August Nokra having a brace. And currently, though he did not start well, he scored 9 goals and the second top scorer in the Ghana Premier League. And also on Sunday, these are some of the results we had. Hartlepool Bekum Chelsea, and this is the third time, Coach, Hartlepool are drawing at home, and this is the third time they are drawing against sides that have never won an away league game, from Dreams FC to Bechem United, and now against Bekum Chelsea. And to the advantage of Brekum Chelsea, this is the second time they are drawing against a big side, against Kotoko in Kumasi, goalless draw, then against Hartlepool at the University of Ghana, goalless draw. We saw Aduana join against Hohoi, and maybe, Coach, you tell me more about Aduana, why it looks like Aduana is becoming a struggling side at home. Though they are not losing, they've lost just once against Vision, but it looks like they are not able to win like previous Aduana that we know. We look at Karela beating 11 Wonders, that's not a surprise. And then also Basake Oli Stars, Swedraw Blacks, 1-0 for Basake Oli Stars. Under Johnson Smith, their biggest strength is home. Maybe they need to improve on away before they can avoid relegation. Then Nations FC, Dreams FC, big surprise. At this stage, you don't expect a side like Nations FC to drop a point, but they drew 1-0 against Dreams FC. Then Young Apostles as well. For the first time, they lost at Winchi. Prior to their game against Kotoko, they've gone 9 games unbeaten at Winchi. The last time they lost at home was a game Mediama defeated them, but that game was played at Doma. It was match day 1, and their venue was not ready. And if you remember, the association set strict rules that if your venue is not ready, you are going to use a different venue. So these are the results. But we'll look at the league table as we have conversations on the results in match day 23. We'll enter into match day 24 soon, and then we have more. Coach, your biggest surprise in match day 23?
I think my biggest surprise will be there was no surprise in that game. I think people were rather surprised because prior to the game, everybody was looking at Mediama, Samatex game. Samatex, but I think from Friday I started alerting people that there was no way Samatex could beat Mediama. If you look at their away performance. Okay. Then check this season, the best games so far is between Samatex and Mediama.
Both the league, FA Cup.
Both the league and FA Cup. Good. The first leg produced 1-1, and the second match was the FA Cup that produced goalless. It was a penalty. So confidently, Sunday morning, I was telling a friend on radio that there was no way that game could only produce a goal. And if that goal can be produced by both teams, because those two teams, if you watch them in the FA Cup, I asked a friend, are they really playing the second round? The energy they use in that FA Cup game was just like the league just started. It is the best game. I think we should preview it very well. We should look at it. We should give it to a department to look at it, how many minutes they played in 90 minutes. I've always told you, most Ghanaian teams played only 30 minutes in 90 minutes. But that game looked a little bit up. But if that is the standard of all the games, then it have an effect on what goes in Africa. Okay. So the Mediama game became like a surprise to people because they expect Samatex to win that game. But I think when you put the ball down for Tanko, there's one secret. When you put the ball down for him and you want to play, he will play with you.
He will play better.
Yeah, when you bully him around, he find it difficult to play. And once the ball is on the 10th, he's one of the best coaches when it comes to that. So that was supposed to be where we thought of going to be a surprise from. And they won that game. Yes. So I think it was two warriors side, and they were able to give us a result I was looking for. I thought that was going to be the best results. You know, prior to such games, people will perceive, assuming the FA Cup went the other way around, and this score line, people will start saying the game has been pre-played. Yes. But the FA Cup was telling us that Samatex was going to beat Mediama at all costs. But it ended up beating them.
It nearly happened. And I was there in Summer Boy. I was doing observation because of you. You know, usually after games we have discussions. And I was looking at the style of play of Mediama. It looks like in the midfield compact, Manuel Mante, Fuzi Taylor, Salim Adams. Perfect midfield. But for Samatex, at a point, their midfielder, Kwesi Sapon, has to go as false nine because their top scorer, Imanu Mama, was injured. He was missing the game. And then Iwa Dramani, that long range, that player who scored in Takwati and A, he's missing the game due to accumulation of cash as well. So their midfield actually had a problem, but they had Sameche, they signed from Park Academy. They had Kweku Ose as well in the midfield. Though at a point, Mediama had the experience because Fuzi Taylor from Accra Lions to Mediama, the Manuel Mante, he's played for Mediama for 3 seasons. Salim Adams, he understands the Premier League so well. But Samatex made sure that the midfield, they actually dominated and make sure Mediama cannot find loopholes in the game. And that was the advantage Samatex had.
It is still a battle. That is why when it comes to goal scoring, and we are accusing strikers, I feel we as a country don't even understand where our strength is. So we need to look at how we develop our strength and move into the striking department. Because as far back as 20 years, some of us who were growing up things we read and knew that goal scoring was going to be a problem in the nearby future. So if the midfielders are scoring, then we need to come out with something. So the strength of the Premier League goes in two ways. It's the middle and goalkeeping, especially this season. If you have a strong middle, you need to have a strong goalkeeper. Then you will be in the league. So check all the 4 teams and check the data of the goalkeepers. They produce certain exceptional saves.
Yes.
I'm talking about the
first
first
4.
even the first 6 goalkeepers.
Yes.
The first 6 goalkeepers. So the strength of our game now is in the middle and goalkeeping department. The striking department seems to be dormant now because of even the style of play is affecting who we call the strikers. That is another topic for discussion. But the strength of both teams, like you said, was in the middle. And once your middle is good, you're able to get a goal from the middle than getting the goal from the striking department. So goalkeeping and midfield is doing the difference now. And you asked of Adriana.
Yes.
Adriana needs to do further work on themselves.
The Diana team.
The Diana team.
Cuba Aristica's
Yes.
side.
It goes beyond just me saying it. You know, the game comes with a lot of energy. And if you're not able to manage the energy around your dressing room arena when your team is losing at home, it's more scientific. So I would just say it for the sake of those who have an idea. So whatever Adriana is going through is likely to continue to the end of the season. If they are not able to identify how to break up the energies around their dressing room. When we talk of energy, people think it's superstition. No, we're not talking about that. There are energies around, forces around, center Peter, center fielder, all those forces. They play the game around the dressing room. So we need to restructure how you even approach your dressing room. That has been the biggest effect. So they go in and they feel that energy around it that hits them that they need to do something.
I see.
So, but when you change the other way around and they go away, they have that flat energy. This happened in one of the research I did for a club. I've been appointed, they needed to break down the dressing room. It's a confidential job, so I'll not mention the club. It's a foreign job we did. We needed to break down the dressing room and restructure it to cut down that energy supply. So it's quite technical.
Yes,
so
quite
it goes
technical.
beyond the park and around the dressing room, but you can manage it such a way that the players will be able to manage. It's something you don't see, so it's something somebody must understand for it to help you break it down. Assuming I'm in touch with them, speaking to them, I know how we'll go about it. So whatever they are going through at home will continue to the end of the season.
Because the likes of Hartlepool, Baseke, usually this will not happen. But like you said, if you look at the core of a Diana team, a blend of experience and young players, their goalkeeper, Sir Prince, we didn't see him much last season, but of course, he's been one of the extraordinary shot stoppers we have currently in the GPL. You look at William Denchintori from the left side. You look at the 2 center pairs, Samuel Osei-Kufo has signed. Already they have Alex Boache. You go to their midfield, I think one of the team that have 2 pivots, that is Salim Bafada. They signed from Future Stars, and then Sana Seidu. These are 2 core midfielders they have. Like you said, the strength of most of the teams are from the middle, and the Diana have got that. And then up front, Mafu is not a bad striker, but then at home they struggle to win. And like you said, there's something beyond the starting 11 and Cuba Aristica's tactics. And so it is something they need to pay attention to. But let's pay attention to the league table. You know, usually we break the league table down. The last time we had a conversation, we spoke about possible 3, and we saw 11 Wonders as the first candidates. But the 2, we spoke about teams that will need to work extra hard, because if you look at the relegation zone, we're looking at experience and teams that don't have the experience. It plays a role in relegation. And we saw Young Apostles as a threat at a point that they could possibly be relegated. And then Boko United. But let's look at the league table. Let's discuss it. 17, we know as for 18, 11 Wonders have cemented it. But the 17, 16, now Hoho United, Young Apostles have taken that role. You think it will be difficult for them to move away from that zone?
Very, very difficult. Very difficult. I think with Hoho, right from when they qualified, you know, when you prompt the teams what will happen, and they don't have an idea, then they started losing certain games, dropping certain points. Where they are now as a team, how are they going to overcome? How many points is left? Let's calculate it.
We have 11 more games.
11 more games. That's 33. So you do 33 divided by 2, right? If you divide 33 by 2, you get about, that is about 16 point something. So what it means is technically add 16 points to all the teams. Give all the teams 16 points.
16 points.
How do we come by that? We come by that through the number of games you have at home. So if it's 33 points, right, you divide it by 2, you get 16 points something.
Yes.
Let's take the point out. Give everybody
16 points.
So if everybody is getting 16, you see where the league table is.
That is how it will be.
That is how it's going to end. So whoever wants to change his position must go and pick a 6 points
outside
from somebody from outside.
But Hohoya started doing that. They went to pick against Ediana.
You don't need to pick. You don't need to pick just a point. You need to pick the maximum 3 points. It's very important.
Okay.
So Hohoya, it's more of a candidate for relegation. The Young Apostle, there's a little bit of fluctuation between 15 to 10 position.
Okay.
When you look at relegation, from 10 position to 16 position, everybody can be relegated.
Yes.
But we make it this way. There are people with high risk. So who are the high risk? Well, if you watch this week, another win, the position changes.
Sure.
But who are not having effect on position change is Hohoe. Even the draw has not changed their position.
Yes.
But check the other three teams ahead.
The draw still moves them
up. Hohoe needs to win this game and win another game away, which is going to be quite difficult. Somebody must be relegated. And they look like the new teams that came, they will still find their way out to relegation. So whatever, the way we see the table, it is almost the same way it's going to go. Everybody was expecting Chelsea to change the face of the table. So it brought another conversation in the day.
Coach, we'll come back to discuss the relegation zone. I want us to look at the possibilities and the chances. We'll look at the points amassed. But let's go for a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll delve deep into the Premier League. But I told you, this platform will talk about Division 1. For Division 1 teams, this is your show. The Women's Premier League teams, this is your show. Today, Coach is going to talk about Ampem Dako, Azakes, Oak Ladies, and all that, all the teams. We're going to discuss them extensively. Let's go for a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll have more to talk about. Thank you for joining us. This is the review show. My name is Shaban Mohammed. We have Coach Vincent Abiu here. We're delving deep into Ghana Premier League. We are looking at the relegation battle for the top 4 and the title chase. We'll look at it. Then we'll look at match day 24 fixtures. But Coach, we're talking about the relegation battle. We're looking at Young Apostles. They lost at home. Hoho United is also in there. But to my biggest surprise, teams that we never expected them to be in the relegation zone, like Bechem, Nations FC, Dreams FC, Vision FC, they find themselves at the relegation zone, including Baseke Holy Stars. For Baseke, like Coach you said, if you are given the 16 points, that is the 33 points. If you are to share among the teams, Baseke struggles away, wins at home. So when they go away next week, possibly you are going to find them in the relegation zone. Then they come home and win, and they move away from there. It means that when one team becomes very consistent, Baseke is going to take that slot in the relegation zone. But it looks like Young Apostles and Hoho United are even making it more easier for them to survive, and they need to put in more work to force Baseke to drop to the relegation zone.
Most definitely. I think that makes it difficult. You know, it's a home away win. That's why I did that. That's why I brought that formula. That's why you normally come out with that formula where you pick the 16. The 16 is not guaranteed that you always pick it because before the 16, Kotoko lost a 3 out of that particular number. Yeah. So what it means is, but like you said, if you cannot pick a point away, pick 3 points away, and it's only home, then you must make sure you are getting all the home so that you keep to the position where you are. Now, Rana, All Blacks is playing. All Blacks will be playing.
Midiama.
Yes. You know that is an interesting feature for the week.
Yes.
Where Midiama must win that game
at all costs.
At all costs to cement the top position. Then
All Blacks must
also win that particular game. Yes. So that game is genetically giving us a draw already. If you start watching it, it's producing a draw already. That's why I only speak much about how Midiama is going to play, to give anybody a clue. My programs are always giving coaches clues, so that's why I'm always careful to know to play around the game. So I think whatever we are seeing at the bottom, there's not going to be much change. So all the bottom 5 teams you see, who drops the next 2 home games will be a relegation candidate for the 3rd position. I don't know whether you get it.
Yes. Who drops the next 2 home points?
Home points. So what it means is you are not supposed to drop a whole point now. Okay. But when we are the remaining
11, if you are playing 6 home, you don't need to drop points.
You don't need to drop it.
All right. Let's look at the league table now, and like you said, Nations FC 28 points, Baseke 29 points, Nations 28 points, Dreams FC 27, Swedro Blacks 27. Coach, Swedro Blacks, based on these points amassed, don't need to drop points in their next game against Mediama. And then Brekum Chelsea 27, Young Apostles 26, Hohoi 24. Now the next fixtures, Hohoi is playing home, Young Apostles away, Brekum Chelsea is playing home, Swedro Blacks home.
Yes. So they must pick all their home points. Because Hohoi is not likely to pick a home point. But who are they playing? And what are the results between them in the first round? So Hohoi this time, for us to see that shake, he has not shaken anybody. So the shaking for the first time will be coming from this particular weekend. If they should be able to win and the next candidate drop a point, then they will make a slight change and move on top. But they are still in the red zone.
All right.
Because as it stands now, you may be having 5 home and 6 away. Or 6 home, 5 away. If it's 5 home, it's 15 points.
Yes.
Add it to your points. You will still
and you need 45 to survive.
You need 40. We've got a league right now. Yes. The minimum points 45. So Rana, how possible can they get the 45? Wherever Hohoi is Rana, let's add up and see. It's still football is just maths.
Yes.
It's just maths. Do the calculation very well, and you know so. The down there is almost sealed.
Okay, so if you look at the relegation battle, Hohoi is not a good side at home. Baseke is a good side at home. And that's changed the scenario for Baseke Holy Stars because you need to win all your home games to survive.
Yeah, you need to win all your home games.
And these are the fixtures for match day 24, 11 Wonders versus Nations FC. For 11 Wonders, we can't talk about them, coach. We can't talk about 11 Wonders.
But they are already gone.
Yes, they are gone.
We only need to keep them in the league so that they don't destroy the league for us.
Okay.
So we encourage them to play in the league.
And be competitive.
They've not been bad. One of the best teams, especially in the first round, when we talk of good quality play, you wouldn't take it from 11 Wonders.
Especially their captain, Emmanuel Boateng.
What happened was, I think there was that direction administratively that affected the team. In terms of technical, tactical, transitional play, they were one of the best teams in the Ghana Premier League, unless you've not followed the league and only listen to score. You know, there's a difference between hearing the scores
and following the league
and watching it. When you watch it, that is where you'll be able to determine which team is not doing well, but just listening to them with their behavior, you feel it's like the worst performing teams. But in terms of possession, in terms of everything, the one particular team I could talk of in the first round was the Levy Wonders team. But right now, they are gone. Because if they amount even all the points, they will still go. They cannot amount all the points.
This could be a +3 for nations, and that could also change that situation.
Yeah, definitely. That is a blessing.
For nations.
Whoever is playing Levy Wonders,
it's a blessing.
You are being blessed.
You are being blessed. All right, let's look at Kotoko Vision, and this is going to be their 4th ever meeting in the Premier League. They've played 3 matches. Last season, they beat Vision 4-1 in Kumasi. And then the return leg, Vision, Anawoka was there, the late Anawoka, your good friend. They won 3-1. Vision won 3-1. Then the second season, the first round ended goalless draw at the Nia Kweku the second. And this is going to be the 4th time they are meeting. 1 win for Kotoko, 1 win for Vision, 1 draw. And Kotoko have lost their last home game against Atufuk, ending their 21 games unbeaten run. How should they approach this fixture if they want to win?
I think they should come out with a different approach. I've seen that Kotoko team that I don't know what is happening. They could change. It's one team that could do the 4-2-4. 4-2-4, where they can do 2 in the middle and 4 on top of attack. That will put a step. But I don't know what is happening when they want to do the 4-2-4. Because in the middle, with certain teams, you couldn't do the 2 in the middle. But most of the teams, they could do 2 in the middle, push somebody up front. So with this, it's going another interesting game. Coach Nana Ajima would definitely like to prove a point and secure his position in the league. He's still not stable. Coach Prince lost first game, won second game, would still like to be in the top 4, especially feeling that House of Folk is also going away. A point for them against a junior team will give them a position. They know House always do when they go to Dance Park. They play very well.
They play very well
at Dance Park.
Yeah, they've never lost a game.
They've been a good away team. And you are coming away against a team that was able to beat you some time back. So I think it's another game that is more of how the coaches approach the game, and the mentality of the players is very important. If they can I believe they're putting that defeat aside and make sure they want to win. Coach Prince definitely want to win. He believes you. He could be in charge.
Because they are unbeaten their last 4 away matches, 2 wins, 2 draws, including the win against Adriana, the draw against Samatex, and the draw against Hoho United.
Yes, I think that has been
the best run.
The best run so far for them.
Yes.
So I think they should be able to do the same thing. Another draw or win for them will not be so.
But that would be a big disadvantage to Kotoko, especially after losing at home to House of Folk. You can't come back at home again and drop a point.
That makes it difficult for Vision
as well.
And at the back of their mind too, it's a threat to Kotoko as well. If they don't overcome that game and they see what to play that game in their mind, then they might be left on the wrong side of their mind.
Good. And this is a game to watch, must watch. The likes of Sanja would be Saman Mohammed, one of the key players for Vision FC. He's been a top tormentor player. He's been very, very good. And then Farouk, that Nations Hoho United player who joined Nations FC and has been loaned to Vision, and Farouk, and then Ali Du Mohammed as well. So Vision, I think, have a very good squad. Let's look at the Dance Park fixture. And that game is between Gold Stars and Hearts. And the last 4 meetings, look, since Gold Stars made their debut in the Premier League in the 2021-22, they've never won a league game at home against Heart of Folk. But away they've won. And they get to face Heart of Folk, who are on the run away. The last lost to Mediama SC. That's the last time Heart of Folk lost a game away. And this is promising to be a key because the league table, this is a direct influence. If Heart should win, the chances of winning the league again will be up. For now, it's down because of the draw against Bekum Chelsea.
Yeah, I think this year, I don't know who did the fixtures, but I think
it's the best ever.
Kudos to the person who did the fixtures. And this is what we want to see. Like it's one of the. I've followed the league the last 10 years. We know what you've done in the last 5 years, but this one looks so trickish that you want to see a game better than a game, and there's no game better than a particular game. You find this game, you feel it's too good. Before I realize this game, is good. It gives you an angle why you couldn't just do. Anybody doing prediction is doing mostly false prediction.
Yeah, false. All the predictions are false.
Are false predictions.
Yeah.
So I think with this game at the Dance Park, it's going to create a history. Are we beating them again? Or this time we are beating House of Folk, so that we cement second position. They've tasted Africa. They wish they could taste it again. But this is where you are out of the FA Cup, right? And it's left with this particular position. A win for a BBNE this weekend closes the gap for them and give them hope for the league.
Yes.
A win for Hearts of Oak, an away game also give them hope for the league.
Yes.
That I mean, especially when Satelites is playing All Blacks away.
Yes.
People
And like we said, possible draw.
Or a lose against Satelites. Then it gives the two competitors to close the gap. Because mind you, whatever Hearts of Oak is timing, I'm playing the last game against
Medium. And if it is 2 points gap, I will
and if it's 2 points and I win, I'm the league winner.
Yeah.
So you can't throw the league out right now. So it makes it another interesting game. I hope that game will be on the screen for us to watch.
The last game.
No, this particular fixture between Hearts of Oak.
Okay.
Breaking the Hearts defense, quite difficult. In terms of attack, they are not as dangerous as they look. Their goalkeeping department,
solid. Defensive.
Defensive-wise, they've been very proactive defensive-wise. In the middle, they struggle to give intelligent, quick passes on top of attack. That's why they are not scoring. Not that they don't have the strikers. The ball is released at the wrong side of the strikers. And so I think another game, but I think another game is likely to produce a draw.
It's likely to produce a draw. All right, let's look at the other fixtures for this weekend. We have one big fixture, Bechem Karela, and if Bechem wins this game, they are out of the relegation battle. They are free now. You know, you need to be free to enjoy the league. And so let's look at the Swedro Blacks Mediama first. I think that is a tough fixture. And Swedro Blacks cannot afford to lose. Mediama cannot afford, because between Gold Stars and Hearts, anything that happens would have an effect on Mediama. And then if Swedro Blacks drop a point, Baseke, Young Apostles win, pushes them to the relegation.
But the next game will be an away game.
And you are not guaranteed. Looking at the general statistics of the league.
Guaranteed. I think the structure, the competition department, I think the motivational aspect of the money too is making the difference. So I'll tell the FA to add more money. Because first, second, third, fourth, I think that motivation too has changed the face of the league. You know, when you are second, third, it used to be first, second, third, but right now up to like 15 position, you're taking something home. So I think it's another form of motivation. Looking at the Mediama All Blacks game, it's a game that's going to be, it's a crafty game. It's a game that's going to be crafted by both coaches. I've worked with Mingo before. He knows how to play such games. It's not yet
big games like,
yes, he knows how to play such.
Coach, how does he break the midfield of Mediama? This Salim Adams, who is a tormentor now.
You know, that is where you don't go through the middle. That is where you must always find a way, also go through the weave to change the shape. You know, there's always a shape. That's why I do this mathematics. Depending on the pitch you are playing and how you approach the game is very important. So I think this game, you have to be quick, move to the flanks, and make sure you don't go through the middle, but you jump through the middle. I think the coaches understand what I'm saying. So that makes it difficult. Salim is not on top of the game. His visualization has been excellent. He stands and is able to mirror the pack. The terminology is to mirror the pack. He stands here and is able to see the side, front, and his back. Only few players that. Even when you go to the national team, you could find Stephen Appiah and few other players, Michael Essien, who stand and they'll be able to see their back. You know, players are able to see front, side. Only few people see their back. There's no eye there, but there's a way you see behind you, where your ear become your eye and you pick on the footsteps. So Mingle is good at that. So that is the only way you can build this Mediama team, 3 guys in the middle. Then sometimes you need to change and make sure you go 4 in the middle. So that numerically you use numbers to short them.
Okay.
That is the only way out. But if you want to match them 3 on 3 in the middle, they are quick, they are intelligent, and they want to play.
And they have the experience.
They have experience.
Well, so that is the Mediama SC Swedro Blacks. That game we played at Aguna Swedro. I'm sure you are going to be there. Coach, I'll take Coach to Swedro this weekend so we can enjoy that fixture. Now, one tricky game, Baseke Heart of Lions. Baseke only starts at home. But obviously under Johnson Smith, Baseke have been winning all their home games. The only problem is away. But let's see if they can still maintain their momentum, beat Heart of Lions, who lost at home to Gold Stars.
I think Heart of Lions' problem, it's so
complicated.
It's not even complicated, but The problem showed in one of the fixtures. I think I'll remind you so that you get, the next time here, you get that interview. Then we'll do some education on that. When the head coach granted that interview, on a sister station, I told them that he has destroyed the team. It's just an interview. That's a post-match he did.
Okay, a post-match.
A post-match. But that post-match destroyed the team. But you know, when I say certain things, it's difficult for people to understand. It's science. And they've not been able to recover up to date. They are trying to recover.
Is it a conversation when he said his strikers are not good?
No, it goes beyond that. That one has been said all around. But because we don't have the footage, I can't remember the exact words. But I think when I'm able to get it, you will get it. And we can use it for educational purpose. Because we want the game to grow. And that is the most important thing. So Johnson Smith has got a particular strength. And I think definitely it's a game for Johnson Smith. The near J and the father and the head coach must put in 120% to pick that particular point. I don't see them getting it.
Well, Coach, Hoho United Samatex, tricky. Like you said, this weekend's fixture is extraordinary.
Yeah, I think Hoho United must come out. You know, they've lost everything at home.
Yes.
The support base, the gate, everything.
Everybody is disappointed.
And they are disappointed in themselves. It makes it difficult where you need to, the players must be able to convince themselves that we are here for a reason and the reason must happen. Samatex has not been a bad team at all. So what do we do now? How you approach the game is very important. Hope must go out and decide that that is their last match. Now taking them to relegation.
But Samatex in their last 6 away matches, the last 6 consecutive games, have considered just one.
That makes it difficult. So you must play this game and see that is the last game that will take you to relegation. If you are not able to approach the game that way, they are likely to pick a win or a draw. You can't trust the Hoho team now. They've not even made good use of their turf. I visited there, and the way the wall ran on the turf, if you're a coach and you understand it, it's supposed to be an advantage to you as a home team. They've never capitalized on that. And they've allowed teams to rest and come out in the second. Check when they concede their goals. Check when Hoho concede their goals. It's another topic for discussion where we are going to pick why team concede at a particular time. In the Ghana Premier League, there are times you concede goals. And there are times when you concede goals, you cannot equalize. And similar thing happens to Hoho all the time. So they've not been able to solve that problem. The central part of the Hoho team have not been able to solve that problem. They don't know how to, they've not used the width of the park very well. They always narrow the park. And it's always good for the away teams to have that energy to play with them. But this is a game you could change the face of the game, use it very well against opposition. By the time they get used to, you've gotten your goal. It was done in Wafa those days. By the time you get used to the turf, they are leading you by 2. And so you need to come. By the time you finish, the game is over. So Hoho has gone against Samatex. I know what Aka does best. I don't know where they are, but I know when he wants to win a game. 2 days before the game, he's close to the venue. I remember there was one against Accra Lions. Now we played at Sogakop.
Yes.
And by Tuesday they were in.
And that was the game that won them the league.
The league. By Tuesday they were in Accra. We won their training sessions at Medina.
Yeah, I was with you there.
Yeah, Tuesday they were ready. Thursday they were already at Sogakop, full rest. And Friday they did the trick.
When I thought I was hiding to monitor them, I saw you also hiding to monitor them.
That is what I do. You cannot, if you don't watch the teams, whatever you say mostly will be lies.
Yes.
So watch the videos. If you have the opportunity to go to their venues, go to the venues
and watch them.
That is where you understand. Because I knew what they were chasing. That is why that time I also came there to monitor. We finally met each other. Witchcraft. We were doing witchcraft and we met each other at that moment.
So, if you remember, after winning that game, they went to Doma, they picked a win, and that was it.
Yes.
They were the league.
Yes, champion. I think that was where Keyeke did that 35 drives from the middle and got that particular goal.
Exactly. Let's look at the last game. Bekum Chelsea Young Apostles. And of course, like we said, if you look at, based on the league table, if Young Apostles should lose this game, it looks like it is over. And if Bekum Chelsea should win as well, they have a chance of making it or staying in the Premier League.
You can't pick a draw from Accra here now and drive somehow happily to your base and lose that particular game at home.
Yeah, okay.
And between the two of them, a loser of that game is becoming a bigger chance candidate for relegation. So I think in that particular game, it's so important to do the two things. But I think it's a game, I'll not even analyze it so much. It's a game for Chelsea.
It's a game for Chelsea. Coach, let's look at the final round of the GPL. Then we can delve deep into Division 1, the Access Bank Division 1, the Malta Guinness Women's Premier League. But the final one, we've done 207 games. That's the general statistics of the league. And then 114 home wins, 31 away wins, coach. And then we have 62 draws. So the coaches are, okay, if we go to away and we can't win, let's draw. Let's draw. That is the best option. And so that makes Hartlepool a tough team. Having won 6 of the 31 away wins, that's extraordinary. Then 390 goals. But there's something I always discuss with coach that has to do with the total goals scored. And we know that the total goal should be 600 plus, 600 or 600 plus. And last season we had 594. We didn't get the 600. But if you look at the total goals we have now, 390 with 11 more games to go. That's 11 more weeks to finish the season. Let's look at how many games we can have, because we were playing 306 and now we have 207 matches played. And then the home wins, the home goals are 261, the away goals are 129. But the first half and the second half goals from last season, coach, our analysis, the first half goals should be lesser than the second half goals. We should have more second half goals. But look at something this time: 192 first half goals, 198 second half goals. Only 6 separate the first and the second half. It looks like coaches have now worked on everything.
Yeah, I think the adjustment has been good. You know, I think when they brought in the pre-match and post-match discussion, that was made compulsory. It's even give us what coaches want to do before the game starts. And coaches are devising all means, like you said, to safeguard a point. When you are leading, you need to safeguard a point. When you are drawing, you need to safeguard a point, especially in an away game. It's the only disadvantage is our goals are dropping.
Okay.
But when you look at the second half and the first half ratio, I think there's only 6 goal difference, right?
Yes.
There's only 6 goals difference. So it tells you it's another season with another approach. I think this in the last few years, this is the first time we are seeing 300.
Yes.
Around this time of the league, it's always more than 300. So 300. We'll go back and see why we are dropping from 500 to 600 in this particular season. But I think in every season you strategize. And the most improved department in Ghana now, in the last 5 years, has been goalkeeping. Check all the teams that have won the league. You cannot do well without a goalkeeper. So once the goalkeepers are good, it means goals we were conceding those days are being denied. Then when the game crossed a particular minute, you know, the game is played in 15 of 6. So in the first half, we are 15 of 3. And second half, 15 of 3. So once I am able to cross the second 15, I play a strategy. If I don't get a goal, you also don't get a goal. That's exactly what everybody is doing. That is another brilliant aspect of coaching we are having. We want to see what happens again in the coming season in terms of taking a risk and attacking more to play. So there's a way we play around the middle. The ball is being played around the middle most of the time. That is why we are not getting the goals up front. So the way you're able to get one goal, there are fixtures where we say, for instance, Hearts and Kotoko. Some of us said, the way there's one goal, either side, they can equalize.
Yes, that's it.
And it's not magic. It's because of the way we toss around, the square passes around. So we don't do that progressive play. And our progressive play is always on the weaker side of the striker. So once the goalkeeper is well positioned, he will pick the ball. That's why if check the number of MVPs going to goalkeepers.
Yes. Almost all the goalkeepers have MVPs.
Almost all the goalkeepers have MVPs.
And like you said, the most improved department is goalkeeping. If you look at the total of 9 penalty saves, we have goalkeepers. Almost all the goalkeepers, 9 goalkeepers have saved penalties this time. And away, 8, home 1.
Yeah, so kudos to the goalkeepers traders. Yes. I think they've done very well. One department that has improved so much in the last 5 years. They kept improving.
Okay. All right. So that's it for the Premier League. And we are moving on to the Access Bank Division 1 League. We will start with Zone 3. I'm sure you wanted us to start with Zone 1, A and B. But let's start with Zone 3. And for Zone 3, it is not 2 horse race. It's about 4. And we have Port City, currently league leaders. They have one more game. They have one outstanding fixture, and the issue is with the DC. The verdict will be out soon before the season ends. They have 40 points, and similarly, Zone 2, 40 points, total points by the league leader. But Sempefi have 36. That's 4 points separating them, and then we have Atram 34, and then we have Home Stars 30. And we have 30 more points to go. We've done 20, so we have 30 more points to finish Zone 3, and that is enough for a team to drop from the first to second, or from the second to first, or to maintain your position. Last season by this time, Port City were second, Hoho United were first, and we at a point we thought Port City could come up, and then eventually Hoho United qualified. But this is the top 4 of the Access Bank Division 1 League. Zone 3, Port City, Simplify, Atram, Home Stars. And then let's talk about the top 4. Then we come and look at the relegation battle. After all, we look at the general overview of the Access Bank Division 1 League. We've done about 450 games so far from Zone 1, Zone 2, Zone 3. And it's getting more interesting. But the focus is Zone 3. Can Port City maintain their run, the last remaining 30 points?
They can. I've watched few of their games, and they've not been. You see, a team may be on top, but they may not be doing well or playing well.
Okay.
But in their case, they are not just on top; they are playing good, both home and away. When they play, you can see some. It's about you seeing what they are doing, because the next fixture, every fixture is equally important.
Okay.
And I think they pick game by game and they play game by game. The competition, when the competition becomes tougher, when there's more of a traditional club behind you. Let's assume Great Olympics is on second position, Okwawi is on third position. I'm not saying the teams are not good, okay. The teams are equally good, but these traditional clubs have something around them. There's an euphoria, something around them.
Fan base,
the fans base, when they are behind you, you are not able to take your leg off the pedal.
Okay.
As much as other people behind you too, the feeling, there's a slight feeling.
Okay.
I always tell people, playing Kotoko and Haas, it's always different than play maybe 11 Wonders
or Bechem
United. When the most difficult games to play are Kotoko and Haas when you are coaching a team, but the most easiest game to play for players tactically is when they are playing Haas and Kotoko. The only time players become disciplined and they play to your instructions is when they are playing Haas and Kotoko. But
they are afraid of to do mistakes.
Because they know a lot of people are watching them as well. But when they are playing on smaller teams, sometimes they do things you've not even taught them. They feel they can experiment. But again, those two teams. So the same way, if you are playing those traditional clubs, Olympics in shape, Okwawi is in shape, they are desperate to come, then you know. So right now the race is between. It was through the more.
Initially, it was Sempefi. They dropped Home Stars came, and now Sempefi have moved
to the second position.
Yes.
So I think when we apply the formula again,
it's positive.
It's positive
based on the number of points.
Number of points they have now. It means they have to drop 2 games before somebody will take over. So once
they have to lose home and away consecutively for Simplify to win home and away.
So let's go by the same formula. When you get to this stage of the
10 matches more, 5 home, 5 away.
5 home, 5 away. So right now, let's all pick the 5 points.
Okay.
What's the point difference? 4, right?
Yes.
We are waiting for the case.
Okay.
I'm hoping this time the FA is doing well with the cases. So who is in charge should do it as early as possible for us. It's helping our analysis. And as well, you analyze
19 games, 20 games.
It's quite difficult. So I think
the competitions manager is here. So.
When I finish, I'm going to tax him to do that. So I think the way they've handled issues very well. So I think when we go,
these are some games of the Division 1.
When we go by that formula, then that means there are 4 points, right?
Yes.
So all they need is to pick. If they're able to pick another away game, then they are the
this is Okwawi United Accra Lions game at Carindorf, and this now the FA always post the highlights of Division 1 on YouTube. So if you are watching us and you want to watch some of the Division 1 highlights on our YouTube page, Ghana Football Association, you can have access to it. And so this is some of the games. Let's look at the teams. You spoke about the likes of Okwawi United, Great Olympics, and it looks like they are off completely. For Olympics, if you look at the next 5 matches, based on what they are doing now, because they lost at home 6-1, if they are going to maintain this run, it means they are going to drop to the relegation zone, and that is not really good for Okoina, for Inter Allies, Wafa. And this zone has a lot of former Premier League sides, Inter Allies, Wafa, Great Olympics, who are all battling in there. And so this Olympics, they sit 13th place with 22 points. And coach, even the team that sits 15th place can, with just a win, can go on top of Great Olympics, and that puts them under threat. And the relegation zone, apart from Great Ambition, that's 10 points difference. Who are, it looks like they are gone.
No, they are relegated.
Yes, Golden Warriors, Hakala, Great Olympics, Accra Lions, FC Nania are all not safe based on the total points amassed on the table.
Yeah, I think after Hockey has qualified, we don't do automatic promotion. That once Hockey is gone, I'm likely to be the next candidate to come on board. No, you must put in
you have to work.
A lot
like
of
City, 2 seasons now.
Yeah, there's a lot of energy. Look at the technical team, the amount of work, the sort of players they have around. It's so important. Who runs the club? I think Olympics themselves shot themselves in the head. They didn't plan anything. They thought there was going to be an automatic adjustment. Just in a couple of weeks, the head coach left. Then in no time, the CEO,
general
manager, I think,
board member,
they also left. And it tells you there's a shaking. I'll remember them something, and all of you are here. When they play has the Democracy Cup, was when they destroyed their team. In that particular game, people started praising Olympics. But House of Folk came with an approach, decided to sit back and soak the pressure and win the game. Because it was during around preseason when Didi was not even convinced to play that game. But it was something for the state, so he couldn't pull out. Then Olympics thought they were the best team. You could hear the CEO, the coach, the interview they granted. Then there, some of them knew that because you were playing an off-season game. So what are you looking for? And what was the opposition looking for?
Okay.
So they used Hearts as a benchmark then when Hearts was not in their right element. And finally, Hearts won that game. So I think around that area, they didn't prepare very well. And that is where they are today. Losing 6-1, it's so bad for them. And I think it's quite difficult.
Well, let's go to Zone 2. And interestingly, Zone 2 is also having the same total 40 points. And it is making it more difficult for other teams. FC Ashanti go do 4, and their problem is that when they win home, they go away and they lose. And then at the same time, Dwarfs also wins home, go away and struggle. But what is actually affecting Dwarfs has to do with their last game. In Super Fidelity actually made sure that they win that, pick a point. That was 1-1. And now we have FC Ashanti Good 40, Dwarfs 37, in Super Fidelity 35, Sefi All Stars 35. Coach, this zone is just 5 points separating the first and the fourth team, and just 3 points separating the first and the second. Unlike the zone 1 and zone 3, where it is 4 points, here it's just 3 points. A drop for FC Ashanti Good pushes Dwarfs on top, and we are enjoying the ding-dong battle between Dwarfs and FC Ashanti.
No, it's always good. It's always, I like competition.
Last year we sparked Sweden Blast.
Yes, I like competition, so it's always good. I think Ashanti offers beefing up their technical team, right?
Zito is there.
I think Zito has gone there with maybe a rich experience.
Would that add up to the team's performance?
There's always a positive and a negative side, depending on the technical team welcoming the new head on board. So we look at it on the positive side, but I think that game will also go down to the last day. It's a game that will go to the
that zone will go to the last day. But last season at this point, Sweden Blast were on top.
Yes,
and they qualified. Last season at this point, zone 3, Hohoi were on top.
Yes.
So are we going to see the same run? Or?
No. This particular zone will go down the wire.
It will go down the zone 2.
Yeah.
It could be Dwarfs or
photo finish.
Photo finish. All right. Let's go to zone 1A. And the only team who are unbeaten in the Division 1 after 20 matches, Tamale City currently leading the table, and it looks like RTU are struggling. Tamale City are former Premier League side, 2022-20. If you remember, they were relegated in their first season. They came to replace FC Ashanti Good. They are 44, RTU 39. Coach, is it over for RTU, Zone 1B, over for them?
Yeah, I think Tamale City is likely to do
unbeaten.
They are likely to do the playoff because how many matches more? And let's go with the same formula.
This zone have 8 games more. They are playing 28 games.
So that's 4 home, 4 away.
Yes, 4 home, 4 away.
What the difference between the first and the second?
And it's a huge gap, about 6 points.
So you subtract 6 from it. they need to subtract 6. So let's add the 4 and subtract 6.
That's it.
So they only need the 4 games and 1 draw. They are through.
That's it.
So Tamale City is
Tamale City Zone 1A. Let's look at Zone 1B. We have more data to talk about, Coach. Some of the clean sheets, but we'll make time to analyze those clean sheets, the goalkeepers' clean sheets. And last season, when we did that, we realized that the performance of the teams goes with the clean sheets and the top scorers, because you need a clinical finisher and the best goalkeeper to qualify. Now let's go at Zone 1B. DBB, Coach, is it over for every team? 47-33. 47 for DBB, KSC Soccer Academy 33. The gap is too much.
I think I'm seeing playoff between DBB and Tamale City.
And have you observed this? All the playoffs have gone in favor of Zone 1B. The last time
we've always done the playoff at the stadium.
Yes.
I've always done
the last one I was with you.
Yeah.
Yes, for
so
the
I think it looked like another playoff will come. The playoff is going between Tamale City.
Coach, you are predicting this?
Yes, I'm predicting this.
Tamale City DBB.
Yes, I'm predicting this. That's my prediction.
But Coach, surprisingly, Lagos Cities and Lagos Cities and 11 Warders. Lagos Cities, 11 Warders last. Lagos Cities last. What's the problem?
No, Santa, when you misbehave, when you misbehave, sometimes nature punishes you.
So it's a nature punishment.
It's nature punishing them. So it's just nature.
And if you look at the points, they can't survive. They are going straight to Division 2. That's the total points amount.
No, they are not going to survive. They are going back to. They can't survive. They will go to Division 2, and one will go to Division 1.
And it is nature punishment.
It is nature punishment. It's the football ecosystem. The gods of football sometimes do judgment on you. So I don't think anything has been bad to them. The teams were not run very well. The transitions were not done very well, and they were not run very well.
The transition, yeah.
Yes,
I think a month to the start of the season, they were still.
They were still. So
I knew we will have an impact.
So I think that is the impact it's having on them.
Well, so Division 1, we have a lot to talk about. Look, if you give us 3 hours, we still cannot finish the program. Anyway, I meet Coach Vincent Abiu. We can talk the whole day on Ghana football. But let's look at women's football quickly. And for women's football, the semi-final of the Women's FA Cup, we have FC Samatex ladies against Army, Jonina Hazakes. So the winner between Jonina Hazakes will be facing off against Army Samatex ladies. But for Samatex ladies, they are making their debut. I watched them on Saturday at the Central Sports Arena. They qualified on penalties against Savannah ladies. It was a tough game. But this is that's the Women's FA Cup. I want us to look at it quickly and see who are possible teams to make it to the final. Then we look at the Women's Premier League this weekend, their fixtures, and look at the table and then analyze it before we sign off.
I think between the 4 teams now, the oldest will be Hazakes.
And the most experienced side.
So I'm guaranteeing them a powerful.
Hazakes, Jonina. Jonina is a tough side in Zone 1. The Saudi.
Yeah, I understand, but that makes it interesting. That makes it difficult. Definitely go for one side.
Yes.
Even one side. I've watched Hazakes more, so I think I'll be on that side. I'm here to watch Jonina play. So I don't know the strength too much. But once you are saying it, we go with so much consciousness.
Yes.
So I think any of them could make it to the final.
That's between Jonina and Hazakes. Yes. But for the Army Samatex, Army has the experience.
Yes, I think we watch Army played last 2 seasons.
Yes.
I think Samatex are coming in.
Yes.
I think they are going to come on the back of a motivation.
Okay.
But the motivation plays a role, but the experience counts on the field of play.
Okay.
And the women's football, the most experienced teams is always likely to win.
The most experienced.
Yes, the upsets are more like the men, where a small team can do an upset. So it means Samatex must put in an extra 120% work towards play the Army team.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That's for the Women's FA Cup. And this is the women's fixtures match day 14, Northern City versus Kumasi Sports Academy. That's on Saturday, and all the games will be played on Saturday except Fosu Royals and FC Savannah ladies. Tamale City, Tamale Super ladies, Northern ladies, and you see that sometimes I get confused. Northern City ladies and Northern ladies. We have 2 Northern City and Northern ladies, and we have Prisons and Ampem Dakwa as well, and then we have Dreams ladies versus Ashtown ladies all on Saturday. Then the Fosu Royals versus FC Savannah. Coach, in the Northern Zone, it's Ampem Dakwa ladies who are on top, but they will be missing their striker Ajekepina. They are there. Who wants to play like Maradona? I'm sure in their absence. Let's see if other teams would be able to close the gap, because in the Northern Zone, Ampem Dakwa are currently on top. It looks like the Southern Zone is where the changes are, and currently Ampem Dakwa on top. Let's see if they can maintain their run in the absence of their striker Zakaria Ajegepina?
They will. You know, when it comes to this game, you cannot always take it away from them. They've had that dominance around quality players in terms of play, in terms of everything. And they understand what the competition entails. Okay. I think absence of your striker definitely will change the face of the team. But that is where somebody is also discovered and another person is discovered. So I think we're going to see another interest. All the features look interesting. You know, my joy about this game is there's that improvement, especially on the female league. There's much improvement.
Much improvement.
Much improvement.
I saw one goalkeeper for Jumai Haruna. I was talking about her, goalkeeper for Savannah Ladies, and her commanding post. Like, look, she's able to tell you, stand here, her command, everything on point, 100%.
No, I think within the last 5 years, the women game has even moved faster than the men. If you look at where they were and where they are now, the men are in the elite class. But if you want to see that growth, we've seen growth in the women faster than the men. In the way, from the apparel, the way they are being kitted. You know, formerly it was like we were joking. But right now,
formerly it was like we were just playing.
Yeah, but the warm-up and everything, you can feel the language among the team. So I think with the top, Apiadakwa is not going to change their position.
Apiadakwa would maintain. Yeah. Let's look at the Southern Zone. And the Southern Zone, soccer intellectuals versus Oak Ladies. Oak Ladies are struggling this season. I don't know their problem because it's their debut season, but they have some good technical backroom staffs. We have Halifax Queens, Ladies Strikers. This is also on Saturday. Army Ladies Azakes. Hey, a tough game. Epiphany Warriors FC Samatex Ladies, and then Police Ladies Jonina Ladies. And here, Hazakes have moved top. If you look at the table, it was Jonina, Army, Hazakes. They are battling for the top spot. And it is 18 games. This is match day 14. And so we have 5 more games to complete the season here. It looks like for the Southern Zone, it will go down the wire. But Oak Ladies, coach, Samatex, their debut season, are you impressed with them? It looks like they are still battling relegation.
Yeah, that's Oak Ladies, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they started very well. Like you said, with that rich technical team, I don't know exactly what is wrong, but the ups and downs in the games are always part of the job. Where you feel you've built a team, but into the competition, you realize that the team keep on struggling. We saw Messi Tegu, it's Messi in charge, right?
Yes, Messi Tegu.
So you see what has changed. Because last year was like their year. Everywhere you pass, it's been them. But it tells you how the other teams have been able to do good transfers and have improved. So whatever we are seeing is not because the technical team is not performing well, but there's also an improved side from the technical handlers of the rest. So all you need is you have to face your team and refit it very well. But in generality, if you watch the women game, within the Southern Zone and the Northern Zone, what I can say is there's much improvement. 27-27,
Army Hazakes, and it's going down the wire.
Yes, so much to the very last day. And that is how we're going to get our winner.
Oak Ladies Samatex 13-14. So getting interesting here. But we will draw the curtains here. But before I let Coach go, so far this is our maiden edition. And first he's going to tell us his experience today, because today is the first time we started with him. He did the baptism. And so he's the John the Baptist for this program. Then he tells us how he feels about the competition so far, because I have the head of competitions here. I said, sir, you need to be here. And this is his show, because it's a competition show. And how do you see the competitions and what you think should be done to improve our competition?
All right, thank you. I think it's a good setup. When you move into an organization, you find young men energetic. Everybody is working. It means the machinery is working very well. So first, kudos to the crew, who people are not seeing, but I think spending a few hours before the show started, I saw how they wanted to get everything right. So we congratulate you guys. We need such innovations to drive the country. We're on a research agenda, the mind research. I would say learn, unlearn, relearn. So with this particular show that I started, and I've always done first editions with you, and whatever we touch, always grow and grow bigger. Exactly. So once we started, we're going to move ahead. And like once the competition chairman is here, I'll tell him congratulations first for this particular season. We've seen some negatives, But that's not what we are dwelling on. How we'll be able to solve them. So I will keep on minimizing them in the coming season. I think the safety of the stadium is one of the most important things. People are complaining that when they come to stadium, the environment is not friendly. It's quite hostile. So I think we need to work on that. In terms of the security department, he should send it to them. How security is being handled, how people are talked to. Because families will tell you that they come to relax at the stadium. But it looked like from the gate, you are met with hostile approach. So why would I come when there's a DSTV at home? But people want to leave the screen and come and watch the reality. So once he's here, we could send it to the other department that we should be up and doing, how we usher people into the stadium, how we relate to people in the stadium, will make people come to stadium. But once the person come and find a negative experience, that might be his negative experience, but he will go on to spread it. So the next person might not even make an attempt to come to the stadium. So that is what we need to look at. And how the games are being highlighted to us now is very important, that we see whatever is happening at the next destination and how we pundit the game. It's very important. Who is punditing the game?
Expertise.
The expertise who is talking about the game, why we should tell somebody to come to the stadium. We need to build that euphoria around the stadium. So first is safety. If safety and cleanliness is guaranteed, I can tell you there are a lot of families who want to relax Sundays, especially after church, where they want to leave the screen, because without leaving the screen, you don't become intelligent. Kids who stay so much with the screen become only hyper. It is one of the reasons why I introduced the Academ Young supporters, which House of Folk is benefiting from. Yeah. I'm taking them from the streets, from the school, to leave the screen, to come to the stadium, to have that feeling and the euphoria around the stadium. So first is safety, cleanliness, safety, and maybe whatever we need to do on the field of play must also be done. Some of the advice may be off air, but on air, these are the few things I can say. My survey I've done and my research I've done, families don't come to stadium because they feel they are not safe.
All right. So the competitions department, Mr. Maxwell Caesar Keme, that's the message from Coach Vincent Abiu to you. And this is our first episode. My name is Shaban Mohammed, and Coach Vincent Abiu, my first guest on the program. Coach, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm so grateful to be always part of first edition of everything we do.
Yes, sir.
We're going to do it. Anytime you call on me, I'll definitely come around to make sure. We need to build it. We have only one Ghana. We have only one country. We have only one football. We have only one Premier League. Let's build it and let's make it our own. It shouldn't just be a slogan. It shouldn't just be a song. It should be what to be part of us. And we'll one day come back again and say, we were part of the process and we built this particular
platform. Well, thank you for joining us. That's Coach Vincent Abiu, and every Wednesday we'll come out with some nice, beautiful interview sessions and analysis of our games. And thanks to the entire production team from the communications department. If I want to mention names, I wouldn't finish today, and the competitions department for being part of it. But to the main crew, Solo, Yiman Olosei, we have Godfred also played a role, and then we have the entire team, Mr. Maxwell Caesar Keme, Mr. Henry Asante Chum, Zainab, everyone played a key role in making sure that everything went on well. And to my personal producer today, Osei, he did extraordinary work. Anytime, say, Mo, everything is on top, don't worry, we are going to go and then make it successful. Thank you for joining us. This is our first episode. Next week, we'll come your way with some beautiful edition.